What needs to happen before somebody would step away from the world they are familiar with and really make a change in their personal or professional life? Hi, Parul Banka here. In this video, I want to demystify the change process for you. I was inspired to do this video when I was conducting a workshop for a global consulting company 2 days ago in central London. We were talking about organizational level change. And one of the things that I mentioned to the participants was that we could look at change at the organizational level, we could look at change at a department level or at a process level. But the real unit of change is people, because they are the one who either go with the change or they are the one who oppose the change. So the real success of a change management program is actually dependent on how well the people aspect of change is managed. And therefore, it is really useful to understand why people accept change or what needs to happen for people to accept change and what really is going on when they are opposed to change. So I want to share with you a model that was given in 1987 by Beckard and Harris. And this model says that when D, V, F, when the multiplication of D, V, F is greater than the resistance R, that's the moment when change happens. In this equation, D stands for dissatisfaction with the current circumstances. V stands for vision after the change has been implemented. And F stands for the first steps that somebody could take in order to bring about that change. So when the multiplication of dissatisfaction with how things are, the vision of a new future, the changed future, and the knowledge of the first steps that somebody could take come together, and when this product is bigger than the resistance somebody is offering to make the change, that is the moment when change occurs. The example that I took in the workshop to illustrate this was the speech given by Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963, the remarkable speech, "I Have a Dream." So if we go back to this speech that literally caused a revolution in this world, we can very clearly see the components of D, V, and F. So D, dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction with how people of color lived back then. Dissatisfaction with regards to injustice. Dissatisfaction with regards to lack of freedom, unequal citizenship rights, racism. And he builds a massive urgency around it because, hey, they had to deal with that situation then. They could just wait and let it go on forever. So dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction has to be high. V, vision. Dr. Martin Luther King gives a very clear vision to people who came to listen to him. He talks about freedom. He talks about justice. He talks about American dream, which in that current scenario was not what people of color seem to live. So he talks about a dream wherein the people of color would live the American dream like everyone else. Every time in his speech when he says, "I have a dream," he bolsters that vision of a changed future. He talks about his dream of how he wants all men to be treated equally. He talks about a world, he says, "I have a dream that my 4 children would be judged for the content of their character and not for the color of their skin." So a very, very clear vision is what Dr. Luther King gave to his people. And then the first steps. You could be grossly dissatisfied where you are. You may have a brilliant vision, but if you do not quite know what to do immediately to start making those changes, it can all feel too overwhelming, too out of reach. And so, amongst other things, what Dr. Luther says is, he says, go back to where you have come from and have faith. Have faith that things are going to change. Because in that situation, even having the faith, even having the belief that things could actually change, that whole racism and slavery could go away, was a massive, massive thing. And he stood there and he led his people from the front. So the multiplication of dissatisfaction, vision, and the first steps were so much bigger than the resistance that people would have offered to bring in that change, that a revolution was born. Now, why is this relevant here in our current context? When we are trying to make a change in our life, whether it is in our professional life or whether it is in our personal life, we can still implement this exact equation and move in the direction that we want to move. So in my work as a coach, what I often see is people have this beautiful vision of the life that they want because they are dissatisfied with the life that they are living. So there may be a lot of dissatisfaction with, say, doing a 9-to-5 routine job, and what they really want to do is to set up their own coaching practice. There are people who are qualified coaches, but they are still in a job because they are afraid to make that transition. So they are dissatisfied with the current thing and they have a vision of how things should be for them. What is it that will give them joy? But what they often do not understand is how to start making those changes. Where do they start? So they have this beautiful vision of freedom, serving the people, making an impact. They know what is it that they don't want. They also know what is it that they want instead. But what they often do not know is how to bridge that gap, how to move from where they are to where they want to be. And that is the missing piece of the puzzle in the form of first steps. And because this huge piece is missing, the multiplication of the dissatisfaction that they have with the current situation and the life that they want is not big enough for them to overcome the resistance that they have in making those changes. So if you need help with finding out how you could make transition from where you are to where you want to be, if you need somebody to hold your hand to help you understand what first steps you should take in order to realize your dream, come and have a conversation. I would love to help you achieve your dream. I hope this change equation was useful and stay awesome, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.